Good morning, everyone. Today we'll start the topic phishing. In this, as we were reading the chapter about the cybersecurity, so in this, phishing is the fraudulent process in which we used to collect some secret information of the user. What secret information like the credit card number, net banking password and the number, or any other account related information we used to ask from the user. How we will ask? First, what we will do, we will send an email to the user that will look like a authentic email. That will be an authentic. Authentic means that it has come from bank or some other official site. So it will look like that. We will send some emails to some users whom we want to ask the passwords and the account number or any other secret detail. So if they will open that email, then they can find, then from there, if they will click on the link provided in the email, we will get their account details from there then. So this is the fraudulent process. So in this, if it happens that some emails are coming to our account, our email address, so we must verify whether the email is authentic or not, whether it is correct or not. So after getting all the details, then we have to open that. So for example, you may receive an email from your bank asking you to update your information regarding your user ID and password in the net banking account. See, means from the bank, it will look like that it is coming from the bank and they will ask you to update your net banking password and everything. The mail which appears to be genuine sent by the bank is actually a fraudulent mail. So the mail which you can see in your account that is looking like it is genuine, it is original, but it is fraud. It is not genuine, it is not the original mail. It is just a mail which will collect your data and the information, and later your data and the information will be used in the cyber crimes to do the cyber theft. For the cyber theft, it will be used. Online theft. It is happening that from your account, the amount is withdrawn. So for that online theft, it is used. How can we prevent the phishing process? When we are sending or receiving the mail, we must be careful about the mailbox. When we are receiving the mail, we must be careful about that. We don't have to open the mail from the unknown resources, which we are not knowing, whom we are not knowing. We don't have to open the mail which is unknown to us. We can directly delete that mail. A mail asking you to provide the confidential details about your bank account and other things, that is like online or lottery or anything else. If it is saying that if you will do that, you will get this much money. If you will do that, you will get this much money. You have got a bonus regarding that. You have got a prize. You have win a car. Like that, many mails used to come over there. So those mails are fraudulent mails. This is for the phishing process only. And as I have told you that when we click on the link provided in the mail, we will lose our information. So we don't have to click on the link in the mail. Okay. So these are the 2-3 steps which we can use to avoid the phishing. Now spamming. Spam is a practice of sending unwanted emails or messages to a large number of people who otherwise do not want to receive these messages. Means any unwanted messages we are receiving, so that will be stored in the spam box. If your father or mother must be having the email ID, so ask them to open the email ID. In that, you will get the options: inbox, sent box, draft, spam, trash. So there are multiple messages in the spam box. The most common form of spam is unwanted electronic junk mails. So junk mails means the unwanted mails which are there when the single message is sent to multiple users. Those are the junk mails. In these mails, services, products are promoted by various companies that is sent, that the advertisement kind of mails are these. Okay, these are annoying. Annoying means like there is no harm of these mails, but these are a kind of mails like company is promoting some product of that. Okay, and some companies like that company is providing you some discount. So these kind of mails are these which are sometimes annoying because we don't want anyone to like disturb us. So these are annoying because these used to come, but these are harmless. So how to prevent spamming? Never provide your email address to the unreliable website. So we don't have to enter our email address in any random websites, unreliable, which are not trustworthy, because our data, our email address can be misused from there. And spam filters facility is of your mail server to block unwanted mails. And we have to set in settings that block the unwanted mails. So then also we can avoid that spamming. Never reply to mails collected under the spam folder. And we don't have to reply to the mails which are there in the spam folder. Okay. Now, individual right to privacy. Individual right to privacy means privacy deals with the rights of an individual to keep his personal information secret from others and disclose only the selective one. Means privacy rights means in this we used to keep our information secret and we will disclose our information with the person with whom we want to discuss it. Otherwise, we will not make it public. All the information will not make public. We will only disclose the information with the person with whom we want to share it. It is unethical and illegal to use such information without the consent of concerned person. And if someone is using any detail of someone else without permission, so it is an illegal task and it is an offense. So it is very important to save private information from unauthorized use. So that's why it is very important to keep our private information secret. So how to do that? We should not share any login information with anyone. Means any password, any email ID, any username, we don't have to share with anyone else. Disable the cookies in your web browser to safeguard leakage of information. And there is cookies option. Cookies used to come in between. Cookies means the pop-up windows for advertisement and some information used to come in between when we are surfing the net. So we have to block the cookies. Never keep sensitive information unprotected in your system. We always have to keep the private information and the sensitive information always we have to keep in security. Security means we have to keep under lock or we have to put the settings so that no one can see that. Or if there is any private information which we don't want to share with anyone, so we can rather delete that. Now, software piracy. Software piracy means duplication of a software. Software piracy stands for duplication of a software. Software piracy refers to the unauthorized duplication of the computer software. So any software, if unauthorized, means without taking permission by anyone else, if it is been copied or duplicated, so that is software piracy. Software developers work hard to develop software programs. As we know that to develop a software, we have to create programs. We have to do the programming, which needs implementation of mind and also human efforts. So that's why it is very difficult to generate a software and it is an hard work that we are generating the software. And if those applications are pirated and stolen, the software developers will often be unable to generate the money required to continue supporting and expanding the software. So what will happen if that software which is created by someone by their mind and effort, if that is been pirated, stolen and duplicated, then the duplicate software will be available at the low cost and the original software will be available at the high cost. So people will buy the low cost software instead of the high cost software. So in that way, the company who has generated that software, that will not get the money. And in that way, if that company will not get the money, then that company will not able to expand the quality of the software update. The software update will not be there then, means software will not be updated. So it will be like the same how it was earlier when it was designed. So there will not be any new feature in that. No new feature will be added thereafter because the company will not get money. Because if the pirated software only on the sale, then how will the company earn money for the further advancement of the software? Now, how to prevent the software piracy? We don't have to download any unauthorized software from the internet. We always have to purchase the licensed software. And never use the software purchased for one system on multiple systems. Means if we have purchased, like say antivirus, if we have installed in one computer, then the same we don't have to use in another because then it can be pirated. Never use pirated CDs of movies or music. Means pirated CDs also we don't have to use. Intellectual right to property. Intellectual right to property means wisdom right, like application of mind, IQ. Intellectual property refers to the creation of individuals' mind-like inventions, artistic work or literary work. Intellectual right to property means anything which we are creating on our own, like our artwork, like our poems, like our literature. Means someone who is writing, who is making a thing on his own by application of mind. So that thing is an intellectual property of that particular person who has created that. So that particular thing which is created by a person by application of his mind, so that will be the intellectual property of that person and it will belong to that person only because he is the creator of that. So he will write that created by this and this so and so person. So it will be the art of that person. That will be the art of that person. And there are like it can be belong to the organization, like some products which a company used to make, which a company used to discover, like this is the thing which is generated, which is developed by this company. Some formulas like medicines and all, logos, symbols. So these are some intellectual rights, some brand names and designs. So intellectual property rights protect the unauthorized use of such intellectual property either directly or by reproducing it in some other form. So intellectual property, you must have seen that there are duplicate things of a original thing available in the market. For the same packet, one thing is duplicate and one thing is original. And we can get to know by when these two packets are in front of us. And sometimes we are also unable to find that which one is original and which one is duplicate. So the intellectual property right is the right in which we have the right to ask for the copyright that this is created by me and this is mine. No one else can copy that. And this is the intellectual property right in which if someone has copied my property, the thing which I have created, if someone has copied that, so in that case, I can claim that he or she has copied my opinions, my belongings, my opinions, he or she has copied that. He or she has reproduced my opinions. So in that way, we can claim that. To prevent infringement into intellectual property right. Infringement means extra addition. That to the copyright, someone has added his own and is saying that it is mine. No. So, use copyright to safeguard your creative work that I have told that people used to copyright that this is mine. ask for the copyright. So this is a legal process. We can, whatever we have created, we can ask for the copyright. This copyright protects the thing from the unauthorized use and duplication. Industrial property acts to safeguard as industry formulation. Means industrial property means in this we can ask for the safeguard for the copyright for the industry products, like some products, some formulations, some medicine, their names, their logos, school logo, school name. They cannot be like, there will be no other St. Paul's in the same area, because that no one can copy the same name. Okay, so it is like this. Name should be different. In the same area, if another school will be run, so it is like the principal or the management who was running the previous school, that only has opened a new school. In that case, it can run. Otherwise, they can claim that he or she has opened a school with our name. So this is the industrial property right. In this, designs, logos, names of the industry and everything is safeguarded. Means everything is patent. Patent means that is existing with their name only. Every their information, their formulation, their product, that they have created the product. So that is only patent. Trademark means it used to provide, like, there is the copyright for our work, the artistic work or the literature work. Similarly, there is the trademark for the products, company generated products. So that trademark is acting as the logo. Okay, that logo will come on every product of the company in some name and color. Industrial design right, it gives exclusive right to the company to distinguish their products from the duplicated products. Okay, here think and answer. Phishing is the fraudulent mails, hackers, stealing ideas, cyberbullying, online threats, spamming, unwanted emails, and plagiarism, unauthorized access. Now, safety measures for using computer and internet. What safety we have to keep in mind to use the internet? Computers and internet have become a necessity of everyone's life today, as we are used to accomplish most of our work on the computer and the computing devices equipped with internet, because computers have become an important part of our life, because most of the work is done on the computer using internet. But there are many threats associated with the use of computer and internet which can cause damage to the computer, which can cause damage in life also. So we have to be careful for that. So what are the safety measures? Never open unreliable websites on the internet. We don't have to open unreliable websites on the internet. Means the websites which are reliable, which are opened by everyone, we can open those websites only. Consult your parents about which website are to be accessed, and you should take the help of your parents and the guardians to open the website. Do not share personal information with others. Okay, and we don't have to download any unauthorized image, any unauthorized file, unauthorized software. We don't have to download anything, any unauthorized thing from the internet. Do not share your password and the login credentials, login username and ID. We don't have to share with others. If you are accessing your private information on a computer other than yours, make sure that you are logged out properly. Means, like, say you are at some friend's place and you have the need to open your account, personal account, for the online transaction or something. So don't forget to log it out carefully. If you are not opening your account on your system, then you should be careful that you have logged out. You always use the original CD in the system. Do not use the unauthorized mail. Do not open the unauthorized or unwanted mails. Okay, always use the latest antivirus system, which will be updating your system from the viruses. and we have to always access the strong password. We have to always create the strong password for our social networking accounts or any other accounts. And we always have to keep the backup copy of our important data. Means backup should be created so that it is saved with us, that what we have done over that. And on the regular basis, we used to keep the password changing. We have to change the password time by time. After 1-2 months, 3 months, we have to change the password on the regular basis. Now, digital footprint. Digital footprints are the traces left behind by a user while performing online activities. Like when someone is doing something, he or she used to left some fingerprints. Similarly, there are digital footprints which someone used to left behind when they are working on the computer with online activities. It includes the website visited by the user. See, we can check in history or by the IP address. It can be known that on which website and at what time who was using that. Email sent or the information submitted online through various services. So we can, through the website, we can get to know that which account was opened. If someone has opened their account, so we can get to know that whose account was opened. So by that we can get to know that who was opening it. So this is the digital footprint. Sometimes we leave the information unintentionally while working on the internet. When we open a website and server record our location through IP address, that I have told you that by IP address it can be known. Okay, these are called the passive digital footprints. So these are the passive digital footprints. Then server is recording our everything and we can just get to know by the IP addresses. While sometimes we leave the trials intentionally by submitting data online, like the details filled by us when doing online shopping, by sending an email message. Such type of digital footprint is active digital footprint. And this is the passive that are stored, that are backup in the server. Okay, these are passive. And the active footprints are when we are entering our data into some digital shopping line. Online shopping website, when we are entering the data, so that is our active footprint. Sensitizing children about digital footprints. Always post appropriate content on the internet. Okay, we have to make the children sensible about the use of computer so that they can use the digital footprint. That's what is the footprint. So always post appropriate content on the internet. That digital footprint, if they are using some false language or they are posting something like that is harmful or it is not good, it is cheap thing. So it is like they are generating the digital footprint because backup is created on the server. So in that way we have to teach the children that we have to post the good thing only. The content should be appropriate. When you open a website, history is recorded. So in the history, it can be known that which websites were opened. So we have to tell them that open the authorized websites only. Unauthorized websites don't open. Avoid uploading inappropriate images or pictures. Means like we cannot upload inappropriate content. Similarly, images also cannot be uploaded. Do not register yourself on any unauthorized website, or do not give the information, the personal information, to any unknown website. Delete cookies from the system, and history log we have to delete from the web browser that which are open. So these are the uses of digital footprints, that we are not creating the digital footprints, we are deleting everything. We are deleting the cookies, we are deleting the history, we are not posting anything inappropriate. So everything is good in that context. So this was the chapter. Okay, so you have to revise it, read it carefully. Alright students, okay, bye bye all of you.